Welcome back to the shop, guys. This video I had planned on releasing last Friday, but long story short, maybe everything kept changing day by day, morning by morning. So I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on laser conversion. Everybody just puts the laser in there and they're off and running. Not me. Unfortunately for me, every possible problem that could come my way did. Fortunately for you guys, every possible problem that could come my way did. And hindsight, everything that I went through, if it wasn't for the tremendous support of the help desk at both LightBurn and Sainsmart, there is no way I would have been able to get this whole project going off the ground. So what you're going to see, and I think even these guys learned some stuff because of all this that went on. So this video, I'm going to show kind of what I think are things that you need to be aware of before you take this project on. A lot of different things here. So this will show you some stuff, and then the next video, next Friday, I'll actually show the conversion and software and so on. So without further ado, I guess, hope you enjoy. See you next Friday. Safety glasses. Never had to do any research. Over the course of my career, I've designed with a lot of different lasers, CO2s, eximers, you name it. But when you buy a $3,000 CO2 laser, the manufacturer provides you with the safety glasses so you don't have to do anything. The excimer laser, there was a biochemist already there that did the research and provided me with the safety glasses. But so now, you know, the first laser shows up for the conversion, and it comes with these green guys. And I put them on, and it's just, you know, you look at what's going on with the laser, and it's blinding light. So I wound up just not even looking at it. It was just pretty bright. Later on, I think it was a good thing that I didn't look. So now I'm going to do my own research, figuring out, you know, what's going on. You go to YouTube, and I found one video where the guy's got a bunch of different colored LEDs, and he's holding glasses in front of the camera lens showing, okay, now you can't see these colors, but you can see these. So I'm thinking, you know, if you can see the laser beam, you have the wrong glasses. But eventually I did stumble across a YouTube video done by the manufacturer. So I know it's going to be a reliable video, good information. There are two types of glasses. One is a laser enhancing glass, which this one is. And it clearly states on the top, it's not a safety glass. This enhances the laser beam so you can see it clearly. Then the other type, of course, is the safety glasses to protect your eyes. And evidently, you know, they're showing, they should be marked. I don't know if I could say should be, but the expensive professional ones are marked on the side, clearly stating what the wavelength in nanometers that these glasses are good for. Additionally, there's a number at the end, which is the density. I forgot what you call it, something, lens density. How much of the laser light is going to be allowed through to your eyes. So evidently, you know, you go on Amazon, any place, and all the blue lasers, 450, 45, whatever nanometers, all come with these glasses, the green ones. And I found, yeah, there are some green ones that are rated a higher density, so they let less light through. So these guys, I guess, aren't marked. I don't know what they are, but I know a lot of light comes through. So I did more research, and on Amazon I found these guys. You know, as a result of this, I was starting to state that these are not the right safety glasses, but so I found these. They're 12 bucks off of Amazon, and the ad, there's nothing written on the side, but the ad clearly states this is for 400, 445, 450 nanometer. And yeah, I'll show a video here next, hanging all these guys in front of the camera lens at the laser while it's running. These, yeah, you can see it. I guess they're safety, like I said, but they let a lot of light through. This completely blocks everything. These are also very difficult because you put them on and it blocks so many different colors or wavelengths that it's hard to see anything. So that's just my 2 cents, what I've figured out and learned on laser safety glasses. So here's the little short video. Okay, I'm just going to show what these glasses do. I'm going to hang them in front of the camera lens here, so I'm not going to go full power with the laser. I'm using a LightBurn, and I'm just going to tell it fire the laser off. This is 20% power, so you can see little dots sitting there. This is now the laser without anything in front of the camera, and I figured, let me just for fun put the can I do it? Yeah, these are the laser enhancing glasses, but these were meant for a red laser. So I guess it's just blocking it completely, even if I move it around. So that's the enhancing ones. Now the green ones that everybody's shipping with it, these are the ones that are unknown. You can see, you know, without and with, it really doesn't block much. And if I was running this thing at power to actually burn, like I said, I just don't want to look at what's going on. It's just really bright. So, and there's different ones. I don't know what density these are. And then the red ones that I showed, which really blank everything out. There's the red ones you can see. So you can kind of see in the background, you know, the power strip and the laser. And you can still see it, but it completely blocks out the... as far as I can tell in the camera monitor here, it completely blocks out the laser dot. So that's just kind of what you're going to see in these different glasses that you buy. So there are 3 different control boards out there that run the 3018. This is the original board that came with my 3018. And I kind of like it because there were double pins here for each limit switch. So you could, a pair was for the x-axis one side, another pair for the x-axis the other side. The newer board doesn't have that. But in any case, you go on Amazon, eBay, any place, they show a picture of this board. But they all tell me, you know, eBay, I talked to the seller, they say they can't guarantee what you're going to get when you order it. They just pull it out of inventory and ship it. So I did order, it was this picture on Amazon. I wanted this board to replace it, and I wound up with that board. 3 boards. The original says Woodpecker 3.2. This one is a Woodpecker 3.3. The one that's on my machine right now is a, I think it was called Tool Maker CNC 3.3. This is the one I fried. In the video, I'll explain what happened, and I think, pretty sure I fried the actual chip, the microcontroller itself. Tried repairing this, hoping that replacing this would have done it, but it's just dead. It won't talk to me at all. So I'll just move this guy. Well, also, 1 laser socket, power here because I had put a fan up here, had the heat sinks on here because this guy gets hot. This guy also gets hot, so I had put these heat sinks on this, which is on, you know, the one that's on the machine right now, and that's the plug for 12 volts for the fan. So, all right, so move that guy to the side. This board, a woodpecker, and the tool maker, as far as I can tell, they're identical boards. The old board was running GRBL version 0.9. 0.9, this board and the other board is running GRBL version 1.1. The difference that I can tell between 0.9 and 0.1 is both of them will ramp the laser and control it. 1.1 has an additional feature where it ramps the laser with respect to acceleration and deceleration of the motors. Because as the motor slows down, if you keep, and I'll talk about this in the other video, if you keep the laser on the same power, you're going to get a heavier burn because it's slowing down and the laser is hovering on the same spot longer and longer. So, also, I do have, and I think I got it from Sainsmart, I do have a little exe file and the hex file, so that you just run this one little file and you point it at the hex file and you say upload, and poof, your 0.9 machine is now running 1.1. I believe I also have the 0.9 hex file to upload, so if you want to go back from 1.1, email me, be happy to give you a link or send you the stuff to do it with. What else to say on this? This is not a drop-in replacement. Because of the limit switches, they only have one pair for both limit switches on the X and the Y and the Z. So you'd have to take a limit switch and parallel it to the other one and then bring it down to the board. At one point I was thinking, I don't need limit switches, because when you're going to do CNC, you're manually positioning the cutter, the end mill, on the corner of the work, and then you say go. So who cares where home is? Later on with the laser, you do need those limit switches to home it, and I'll explain that in the video coming up. So 2 lasers here, and for the older guy that I'm going to talk about, the first generation Sainsmart Laser, I'm plugging it in here, and it works fine. The second generation laser, I finally got Sainsmart sent a private video from the guys at the factory showing me you plug it in here. And it's different circuitry. Do I have? Yeah. Turns out, I guess I'll turn the schematic over here. I have the schematic for both the first generation and the second generation, the full schematic. This is the driver circuit here for this newer board with the 2 laser sockets. And you can see the difference is the white socket for the older generation Sainsmart has a diode in it. It's being driven by this guy. So that's one way, and then the other socket is driven directly off of down here, a voltage divider. So because when I plug the newer generation Sainsmart Laser into the white socket, which is this one, everything was inverted. Off was full on and on was full off. Once they showed me this private video plugging it in here, it worked perfectly, so I am so thrilled with that. What else to say about this board? I don't think there's anything else on it. So there are a lot, let me bring this camera up a little bit so you guys can see better. There are a lot of lasers out there. 500 milliwatt, 1,000, 2,500, all the way up to 7,000. This is the 5,500. You get them off Amazon, BangGood, Sainsmart, I mean, you name it. The lower wattage units, the driver board is on the laser itself. But pay attention to the wiring. Silk screening here clearly says, plus. PWM minus, and I've seen some where the PWM is the end pin. So all I can say is just pay attention to the silk screening on the laser and your control board, so that you don't screw something up or fry it. The more powerful ones have a separate driver board. This one's from Sainsmart, obviously it says. There are two of them that are out there that I've seen, both from Sainsmart and on Amazon. I'll show a picture of the first one, which I understand is like an older generation. It doesn't have this metal tray here that it just comes with the board. It doesn't have this push button switch, which is an on-off. I was thinking in the beginning, the way the silk screen is, that this was either TTL or PWM, but no, this is just on-off. When you push it in, everything's on. Fans come on and the laser's enabled and ready to go when you tell it to go. This board also has a jack on it for 12 volts. The other board, I'll show right now, here's a picture of it. It doesn't have the push button, doesn't have the jack. Power for it to run the 5500 completely comes off of the control board on the 3018. All right, back to this one then. This one does have this jack, but since you can run all of this off the control board, I manually took it apart, and I've got a jumper from plus 12 here to the center post on this guy is the plus side. So this guy does not need now this extra little power pack going into the wall. As I said, the driver, there's two different plugs for the laser. I never tuned into the fact that the other board, the older generation, has a white plug, so it goes into the white socket. This one has a red plug, goes into the red socket. So if you wind up with this from someplace and it's the newer guy, be aware that you may need to buy this board. If you've got this older one here where it's just got one socket, you may have to buy another board for $45 so that you can plug this laser in here and it works. So that's kind of all I can say about this. Laser itself is pretty cool. It's got mounts here, so if you have your own jerry rig or do-it-yourself thing, you've got some nice threaded holes here to mount the laser. This guy too has got two holes here. They're not threaded, but you can mount this someplace. And you saw a picture of the other one. I used silicon on the 4 posts. I didn't want to drill and tap and screw around, so it's just siliconed in place to hold it, and I made my own little rack there that you could see. And I think that's all I have to say about this. Gerbil settings, though, I didn't mention this yet. I've got everything written down, all of the different settings to put in this guy if you're going to run the laser, or what settings I have if you're running the CNC. And the default is when the board shows up, this is what was already programmed in it. Plus English, you try to read this stuff and it takes a while to figure out what they're talking about and what this setting really does. So email me if you want, and I'll be all too happy to send you this document so that you can see what all the settings I've played with, and I pretty much so refined them all down. So that's all I can say for this little segment. I think I've covered everything here. Just want to make sure I did state, here's I have the full schematic for both the original control board and the newer boards. Anybody wants, let me know, email me, I'll be happy to send it to you. I've done, everything works now, which is great. That's why I've had to reshoot this video some 8 times. And it was kind of funny because as of this morning when I got up, the last laser, Sainsmart has sent me over $400 worth of stuff to get this ironed out and just stayed with me all the way through. Thank you so much for your support. But as of this morning, I didn't know, I still had the problem with the last laser, the newer generation that I showed, and they did a private video for me, and lo and behold, now everything works. And it was a kick too, because my wife yesterday came home from work with some chocolate covered fortune cookies from work. I couldn't have one because she had them in the car and they all melted, but this morning they cooled down. I grabbed one by random, opened it up, and the fortune says, "You will be rewarded for your patience and understanding." How's that for freaky? Did a lot of stuff. Not sure if you can really see some of this, but because one 5,500 milliwatt laser, the ad said it will not do aluminum, this, and this, but it will do stainless, which I seriously doubt, and will be trying it. But in the next video, I'll show you how I did some of these tricks here to get aluminum and whatnot. And I know this is terrible. I just quickly tried to do a JPEG of a person, so that needs to be fine-tuned. That was way overpowered. But if you do decide to get a 3018 or the laser, and you get it from Sainsmart, you'll get $20 off your first order of $100 or more. Just use the code WELCOME20. So Sainsmart's very nice people. Like I said, tremendous support from both Sainsmart and LightBurn. Never would have been here without them. So I hope you guys picked up, 5 weeks worth of thrashing around uncovered, and on to the next video.